everybody doing? Okay. Yeah. How's everybody doing tonight? Whew. It's been a lot going on. It's been a lot going on. So tonight we're going to talk about Madeline Soto and what's going on with the case. And as of like an hour ago, the detective and everything that found out that the mother was basically lying about timestamps and about what's going on and what happened with that young lady. So we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it right now. Right now. Yeah, I always thought that that was real fishy about the story. You know what I'm saying? But I just was like, you know, trying to let the story happen and trying to let it go on before I basically put my opinions and all of that stuff into it. But yeah, let's get into this clip. This is from Channel 9 News, WFTV Channel 9 News. So we're gonna check this out real quick.
And I'm Greg Ormond. At that point, her daughter Madeline had been missing for one day. She told us that Stephen Stearns, her boyfriend and now the prime suspect in Madeline's death, had taken the teenager to school. She said the last conversation she had with the 13-year-old was the night before. But this report we got a hold of today shows she told deputies she saw her daughter the morning of her disappearance. Channel 9 investigative reporter Shannon Butler has been digging into the details of this case. She joins us live in studio. And Shannon, that's not the only thing you noticed in this new report.
Greg, no one has been charged in Madeline Soto's death, but we do know investigators are looking into who knew what and when. And some of that means looking at those initial interviews of the couple and the ones later on. Sources tell me the statements about the timeline are not consistent. Jennifer Soto told us last week that the last conversation she had with her daughter was about her 13th birthday party the night before Maddie disappeared.
I told her good night, and yeah, that was it.
But according to documents, Sunday night was not the last time Soto saw Maddie. New documents show that Maddie's mom told deputies on February 26th that she saw her daughter getting dressed for school at 8 o'clock that morning and met her boyfriend, then took the teen to school. But since that initial report was taken, we learned from the Orange County Sheriff that Maddie was likely dead earlier than that.
Our detectives have determined that Madeline was never dropped off. Instead, we believe she was already dead at the time and that Stephen Stearns moved her body in the early morning hours on that day.
Channel 9 has been going through statements from Stephen Stearns and Soto trying to piece together what happened the last few hours of the little girl's life, starting with our interview of the couple. Her mom told us last week.
We dropped her off at school, close to school. She wanted to walk the rest of the way.
But in that same interview, then said,
I wasn't the one who took her to school in the morning. That was my partner. But yeah,
detectives believe Maddie was likely dead early Monday morning because the video timeline shows Maddie's belongings being dumped in a dumpster at 7:35 by Stearns. At 8:19, Sheriff Mina said video shows Maddie in Stearns' vehicle believed to be deceased. Since then, the case has moved to Kissimmee Police, and sources tell us that Soto has been interviewed multiple times by detectives at two agencies, and that they are looking closely at all the statements she's made. But officially, Kissimmee Police won't comment. So this initial report also shows that Stearns told investigators that after Maddie got out of his car, she stopped to look in that book bag before he drove away. That same book bag was found actually in the dumpster. After her death, he then said he went home for about an hour after going to the date store and running errands. He was home that day until 2:30. Detectives say a tip
Police Stearns never drove Madeline to school and that she was already dead that morning.
Greg, also breaking this afternoon, the state attorney's office says it's asking the Florida Department of Law Enforcement to investigate how and why a photo that appeared to be a body in the woods was posted to the Osceola County Sheriff's personal Instagram page. The photo was posted less than 24 hours after investigators found Madeline Soto's body. Sheriff Marcos Lopez, you see here, said he accidentally posted the image when sharing a post of himself visiting a senior citizens area. The sheriff's office has not said why the sheriff had the photo or who took it. Developments continue to come out in this tragic story in our community. For Eyewitness News at 5, we'll show you the impact Madeline's death has had on our entire.
But yeah, I believe that the mom had something to do with all of that. I don't, she didn't probably kill her daughter, but she knew what was going on. Mind you, she already knew she had to know that that little girl was being sexually abused. First of all, she shared the room with her mother and her mother boyfriend. At 13 years old, what mother allowed that? 13 years old, you sharing a bed with your mother and her man, or even not even sharing a bed, but you in the bedroom with your mother and her boyfriend. Where they do that at? Baby, I'm trying to tell you. From the jump, I already was like, enough. Now, I already knew something wasn't right. So let's get into this next bit. I'm gonna pull these. What's the name? Why is it- Yeah, because I mean, I'm like, I'm not understanding why she was even sharing a room. They had a 3-bedroom home, so why would you even be able to share a bed with your mother's boyfriend? Mommy, that's yeah, that's crazy. Like, who does that? I mean, it's just a lot of
Learning disturbing new details in the case of a teenager found dead in St. Cloud days after being reported missing.
Documents obtained by West 2 today allege that Stefan Stearns, the boyfriend of Madeline Soto's mom, was sexually abusing that teen for nearly 2 years. Haley Crumble breaks down what else these documents reveal. Haley.
So, according to those documents, law enforcement was able to find some disturbing videos and images on Stearns' phone, despite the fact that he said he accidentally did a factory reset on that phone the day that Madeline disappeared. But, like I said, law enforcement were still able to get some significant information off of that phone. They say the pictures and videos they found on it show he had been sexually abusing Madeline since at least August of 2022, when she was just 11. They say the room that can be seen in some of the pictures is a room in the home Madeline shared with her mother and with Stearns. Now, right now, Stearns is being held here in the Osceola County Jail on no bond on charges of sexual battery and possession of child sexual abuse material. Live in Osceola County, Haley Crumble, home, West 2 News.
So once again, y'all heard it. Y'all heard it for yourself. Like, what kind of mother, even like, for 2 years, um, you allowed this guy to just even be around the daughter, and then she lied and said that she took her daughter to school. Then she put herself there. Then she took herself out. Then she put herself there again. So that's when I already knew it was like some red flags. Like, wait a minute, it's lies all the way from the beginning out the motherfucking door. So she was just lying from the whole beginning. She knew what happened to her daughter. She knew what happened. Not only that, they found the book bag and all of that that the man threw in the trash of look at their little house place. They had a dumpster and his cameras there. The dumpster caught him throwing the baby girl no the backpack. But on the video, they said they seen the little girl in the car, but it didn't look like she was alive at that time. And this was 7:30 in the morning. This was way before she even, he's supposed to be taking her to school. And then the mother said, I was there. We took her to school. That's what she said. And then she was like, the reason why she didn't take her phone is because she made a mistake and left it home. And that's how we knew that the phone wouldn't be tracked. Like, listen to what this lady is saying. I'm about to play the interview. But listen to what she's saying. Listen to how she's breaking it down. And this is out her mouth. This is not out mine. It's out her goddamn mouth. Wait a minute, where's the name? There you go. That lady knew what the fuck was going on. That's why I already said, like, they need to lock her ass up. Shit. It's hot as fuck. You knew what was going on. You knew everything was going on. I gotta find the I ain't hear about that. Yeah, I ain't hear about that. But yeah, so we about to get into the interview with the mom with her phony stuff, acting like she crying and acting like she's so upset and so distraught. But I seen right through it from the beginning. I don't nothing. Body language is the motherfucker. Body language tell everything. And then he did an interview too. So we gonna get into her interview first.
I don't think they've caught anything on the cameras that's too far away from the sidewalk. Everything is too grainy, so they can't see specific faces.
Dang, I need to
But they were.
Is this normal behavior
Not
to
at all.
just not show up or call or text or anything?
Not at all, no.
I gotta go.
She from time to time she will be herself at home accidentally, and that's actually what happened yesterday. She left her phone at home. She went to school. That happens sometimes. She's very she's very forgetful. So yeah, there's no way to track her right now because I have the detectives don't have her phone. But this isn't
the last thing I guess the conversation that you two had with your daughter?
We spoke about her birthday party. She had a birthday party on Sunday. She had a great time. I couldn't make it because I was working, but she had an amazing time. She was so happy with all her gifts. I told her good night, and yeah, that's it. She's 13 years old. Yeah.
Madeline?
Madeline.
Madeline. What are you thinking right now?
In my heart, I feel like somebody took her. This isn't like her to just pick up and run away, or just not go to school.
Friends, the friend's parents, you've contacted and went through every single person?
Everyone that we know that she knows, we've contacted them all, reached out to them. The parents have gone out to search and look for her as well. And we haven't come up with anything yet.
I've seen a lot of posts on Facebook, Hunter's Creek, Brandon's Grave, what have you. Did people say that they were going to conduct some type of like search party or anything?
A lot of people have asked me to volunteer, like if there is one, if they can do one. I have people passing out flyers, going to every store in that vicinity, gas station, church. I think people were being stopped in the street this morning in front of the school to see if they've seen anything, if they've heard anything. My family they're going all out right now. Yeah.
I know as a mother, a lot is going on in your brain,
So much.
to bring her back home. What have the law enforcement told you that you are able to share?
that they're doing the best they can. They've had detectives come out, interview us. They took a piece of her clothing for the canine dog to see if they can sniff her out. I'm not sure when that's being done.
Do you have any inkling where she possibly could be? Like if you would say, okay, last time I went to work and came back, she was at James' house or Sabrina's house. Maybe I forgot to check that house, or she played at this park one weekend. Maybe she went back there or something like that.
We've looked everywhere we could have thought, and anywhere she would have been. She would have known to wait for me at the school. But we did check where if she could have walked. My mom's office is close to the school. We checked there. We checked the walking paths that she could have taken. We've checked all of her friend's house. I think we've checked everywhere I could think of, honestly.
What do you think? Oh gosh, I said it too much. What was she wearing?
She was last seen wearing a green hoodie, black shorts, white Crocs, a black JanSport backpack with gray hibiscus flowers on it.
And you said this is not like her
Not at all.
to run away, an argument, anything like that to provoke her.
She's never done anything like this, no. And we haven't had any arguments recently to have this happen.
What school?
Hunters Creek Middle School.
Tom, any questions? Is there anything that you think our viewers would need to know about the way you're feeling, the family's feeling, Madeline?
We're desperate for any answers, anything that you can do to help. I'm here for it. Just please, if you see my daughter, just please bring her home. I just hope you're okay, Maddie. I hope you're safe. I hope you're not hurt. Just hope she's okay.
When did you notice that she was missing? Because this was at the beginning of the morning.
She got dropped off in the morning. We did not notice until after school pickup at 4 o'clock when I went to go pick her up and she wasn't at school.
So we're going in 24 hours now.
Yeah.
Just about
Yeah.
nothing.
Nothing. No word. No text message. No messages anywhere from her. I've looked at all her social medias. I've looked at all her games she could have played with. Any app. No weird conversations. Nothing strange. Everything was conversations with just
get home by herself, as if like let's just say take a bus or an Uber or something like that. She would know how to get home alone, correct?
I'm not sure. I don't know if she would know how to get home. Maybe, I mean, if someone, I'm thinking if someone got in the car with her and if she pointed the way, what roads, she probably could figure out how to get. But like, does she know full address? I don't think she does.
Which would give me it just puts in my brain that she always comes home with someone.
She always comes home with me.
There's no need for her to really
Exactly.
learn. Okay. He said no time. He knows everything. All right. The first question is if I can get your first and last name. Spell them both out for me.
Stephen Stearns, Stephan, Sterns.
All right, so Stephen, you seem very emotional right now. Explain to us.
I dropped her off. Everything looked fine when I drove away. It's the last time we saw him.
What were the conversations that y'all had in the car when you dropped her off?
Not much. She was asleep for most of the way. Told her have a good day at school. When she got out, I love her. She said thanks, love you too. That was it.
And so, where do you think she could possibly be? I mean, this isn't, as I was told, this isn't normal behavior.
This is not normal behavior. She's not the type that would just run off. We don't know where she could be. We're scared. We just want her home.
Are you, in a sense, blaming yourself?
It's hard not to.
Why?
I dropped her off early. I could have waited longer. She looked okay. She was walking toward the school when I saw her. It was like any other day, so I went on with my day. It's hard not to blame myself.
What has the conversation been with Ben since?
She's been very, a lot stronger than me. She's been holding it together really well. But it just keeps coming in waves. This reality keeps hitting. We don't know where she is. We don't know if she's safe. We're just scared. We just want her home.
Have you, like, literally put boots on the ground, went out?
Yeah, I even went out with the where I had dropped her off, and we looked all up and down the road, all along communities, and there was nothing helpful. None of the cameras were pointing the street. Nothing, which in 2024 was surprising. The church across the street had some cameras, and they mentioned seeing her waiting around in the parking lot for a while before moving on. And that was it. But it was grainy footage and not much else.
Does it seem like she walked west, east?
They said in the direction of the school. I'm not sure what that is.
What was the language? Not language verbally, language, body language. When you dropped her off, did she seem happy? Was she like, I'm gonna meet my friends?
She got a happy weekend. She just turned 13. She got a 13th birthday party. She was happy that we were all together here. She was happy. She was happy. She's very sweet. She's a very sweet girl. She brings a lot of joy to us, and we just not knowing.
So the unknown is killing.
Yeah, it's like our whole world is upside down. Not feeling her presence here is. Sorry. It's hard.
I'm gonna be fine. Don't need to apologize. What do you want our viewers to know when they see this?
She's a sweetheart. She's a very sweet, kind girl. Just please be nice to her. Bring her home if you find her. Tell her that we love her. Wherever she is, I hope she's okay.
I mean, if someone were to come in contact with her and you gave me her diagnoses, would it be easy to approach her without any like agitation or anything?
Yeah. She's a good kid. She's a good kid.
If you can sum up in one complete sentence, waking up, getting ready to drop her off at school, dropping her off at school, to now speaking to me after talking to the police about her being missing for over 24 hours right now. In one complete sentence, what would that be?
A living nightmare. It's a living nightmare. Day started off like any other. And I just want to wake up. Just get hit with waves of reality. Here's it setting in. It really got dark last night. We really. I'm just trying to understand how people can sit here and try to put on an act and act like they is so emotional and so phony about the situation. Like, how can you even bring yourself onto an interview and like and what you did, knowing what you did? Because this is his first interview, but this is the mother's second one. And the first one, instead of him getting on and comforting the mother, which I thought that he should have had done as a man, he sat behind her, folded up his knuckles and and just sitting there like I was like, you know what? The mother had something to do with it too. I knew it from the beginning. She going down just like his ass too. Soon as they get her ass. We started falling apart. We knew it wasn't going to come to an end. And now we're going on 24 hours and still nothing. Just conflicting reports here and there. People say they see this or that. None of it's conclusive. None of it's helpful. We just want a baby girl.
Common questions. Thank you.
Yeah. Now you tell me what y'all think. I ain't even gonna sit here in the front or lie like I already knew from the beginning this lady has something to do with this.
She knew what happened to her daughter. She absolutely knew what was happening with her daughter and what happened. So all of this acting like, oh, I don't know, and we dropped her off. How you gonna drop her off? Then he dropped her off, and then you didn't drop her off, and then y'all dropped her off together. Bitch, you're lying. The fucking lying. Then after he fucking dropped the baby girl off and all of this stuff, he claimed he did what is it called? He claimed he did some um, some chores, or he ran errands and chores and all of this stuff. Stop lying. Y'all bitches need to go to the nearest motherfucking jail and do not press go. But anyway, let's get back more into the motherfucking story, because we have one of his friends talking about basically his attitude and what kind of person he is, and basically explaining who the fuck Stephen or Stephen or whatever his name is. So his friend is gonna break it down. He's a nerdy guy and all of this stuff. So we gonna get into that right now. I want y'all to check this out. But that shit was wrong and fucked up what they did to that little girl. I mean, like, yeah, it's just crazy. So we gonna get into that one. Get this one up out of here. So when we started, this is him filming. I'm guessing that's the little girl or whatever. But yeah, his ex friend is about to tell us what's going on and what kind of character that Stefan Stern have. Because the mother seemed to feel like or act like she don't know and trying to blame everything on him. But you already know investigation is investigation. And this is and what is his name? Huge very huge investigation, and he's basically gonna bring out some pinpoints and all of that. So yeah, let's check this out.
For like a decade. Yeah, so we had a falling out like 12 years ago, but he still floats in the same circles because he moved up and down the state apparently, like doing real estate with his mom and dad. But he started working for Disney, and I know he's still working there in like September, but I don't think he's working there anymore because Disney made a statement or something about it. He was actually in the T Rex area at Epcot, I think. I think that's where he worked. I don't know if like he's not working. I mean, he could have quit after September, but I know in September he's still working there because he had pictures on his Instagram.
He working at Disney.
Because we were best friends for so long, and then we had a falling out because he drew a gun on me over a disagreement. So I just cut ties with him completely. But some of the stuff that kid did growing up was so crazy. So
Now this is his friend who worked at Disney, and no, all right, Stern, Stephen Stern, him right here where the cursor is. He worked at Disney, so he worked around kids for a long time. So nigga, you been already had your motherfucking heat on some little girls or some little kids. Wow.
a year after we stopped being friends, one of our mutual friends was going through hard times and needed a cheap place to live. So he moved in with them. And this kid's like an IT wizard. So essentially what happened is a year after that, they had a falling out. And I convinced my buddy to tell me what happened. And apparently what happened was he had been cleaning up the network and found a shared folder between their computers where Stefan had been secretly hiding a camera in his room and recording his girlfriend coming in and out of the shower. And from what I understand, there was kid stuff on there as well. And like I said, my buddy was going through a really hard time, like literally broke. And from what I understand, his mom paid, Stefan's mom paid off my buddy to not talk about it.
And so he was cleaning up the network and found images that this Stefan guy's kind of a moron, isn't he? I mean, he does.
It's something like all of us are friends. So like a lot of us old friends from high school, they've all been blowing me up for like the last 2 days about all this. And that's kind of the agreement we've all come to too. We're like, wow, he was actually really, really dumb. Like all this is so stupid. Like it's kind of crazy because he didn't. I mean, he was kind of a smart kid, but he had social issues a little bit. But I mean, he partied. I was like, I threw parties all the time, and he always came out and partied. I mean, he was always, me and him were basically attached at the hip. We lived together. We lived in the same room for like 5 years. That's why all this is so crazy to see all this going down, and just like the amount of people that are flooding me constantly about it. But his mom was, I mean, his dad is pretty normal. It always seemed like his dad didn't like the rest of the family. And his brother seemed to distance himself from I mean, I knew this kid. We were attached at the hip for a better part of a decade, and I never once saw his brother. I think his brother was military or something like that.
Well, what can you tell us about, like,
lives in North Carolina.
How long do you know this guy for?
I moved here from Japan when I was like 17, so probably until I was 27. And we lived together for probably 6-7 of those years.
Wow. So like, what can you tell? Like, you know, remembering back, what do you know about him? I mean, just how was he like when you go to bars and the girls and whatever?
Yeah, all that was like, I mean, there's one time recently, and that's because she actually messaged me today. She's married with kids now and everything like that, but there was one girl who messaged me, and we didn't let him bring her to parties. I mean, he had to be 20, probably 20 at the time, and he was dating a girl who was 17, and we were like, no, sorry, she's not allowed. So none of us really interacted with her, so I don't really know too much about that, but we do know he was dating a young girl.
And what did she look like?
None of us.
Was she really?
She was
young?
Asian.
Oh, she was Asian and really small then?
Yeah, she was tiny and Asian, yeah.
Okay.
She was literally tiny and Asian. I mean, 4'11" maybe.
Well, my wife's only, she's a really small. She's only like 4 foot.
Yeah.
5 or
And this
7
girl was
or
too. She was super tiny. And, I mean, so we thought that was a little weird, but this girl had messaged me earlier today, and she made a comment about that same thing that I'm saying now. And we were all told she was 17. She told me today on Instagram that she was 14 at the time. So that dramatically changes all of that.
Oh, wow. So the same girl that he told you was 17 was only 14?
Yeah, because she mentioned that today in the Instagram.
Wow, that's insane. So what was this part about you, a gun up above? I think I missed that.
Yeah, so we were living together. I don't know, probably a couple years into, I mean, this was at the end of our relationship. So we had a disagreement because there was a lot of issues wrong with the house. We were renting through his dad. And I didn't want to pay rent because, like, a whole bunch of these issues, AC, garage, all these things hadn't been fixed, and the car was pinned in the garage. And this went on for, like, months. So finally, I refused to pay rent. I was like, look, you got to fix these issues. I'm like, this can't go on any longer. I'm not paying rent until you fix these issues. And his son flipped out on me because I guess his dad was giving him a hard time trying to get Stefan to give me, to give the money to pay the rent. And I was just like, no, not until you fix these problems. And Stefan flipped out the house, threw a temper tantrum. And I mean a legit, like, 3-year-old temper tantrum, laying on the ground, a grown man pounding and kicking his feet into the ground and screaming and yelling. And he does all this, proceeds to run into the room, grab his gun, and draw a gun on me.
Wow.
We get into a scuffle after that. I leave. I never come back. My dad gives me money because I'm broke. I'm broke, 20-year-old at the time, like bouncing between jobs, and he gives me the money to break the lease because I told him what happened. He's like, you need to get out of there. So he gives me the money, break the lease with everything, and I left. So that was the last I talked to the kid personally.
Wow.
Within a year after that, our mutual buddy moved in, and that's when all the camera stuff and all that went down.
But like, did you move back in with him somehow again after that? Even though
No. After the gut thing, I never talked to the kid again.
Okay.
We just float in the same circle. So like every time he hangs out with someone I know or messages someone I know, I get all these messages on Facebook or Instagram from whoever it is.
And so how long ago was this server moment where he was at work and?
Oh, this wasn't at work. This was at the house. My buddy was just like going. He's like, he's a rare breed. He loves IT networking. Like he's not good at IT networking. He loves IT networking. Like he loves going through networks and cleaning things and making things move faster and 3D printing. He's just one of those guys. And so he was still going through school and everything. So he was playing around on the network at the house and going through it. And that's where he found a shared folder between Stefan's computer and his computer on the network. And he thought that was just weird that there was even a folder there. So that's when he went into it, and that's where he saw a whole bunch of young kid stuff and
why did he put it in
videos and pictures of his
place?
girlfriend.
I mean, that's sort of weird.
Because Stefan's an idiot.
I mean, a shared
like
folder on the network.
Yeah, it was literally like connected. It was in the middle of the network, like a portioned off section that Lance had for like when we want to bounce files back and to and fro in the house. It was just like that, something quick and easy. We were all wired together because we're all gamers. So.
And so he had like CSAM material and his girlfriend on, or child pornography and his girlfriend.
And my buddy, the IT guy's girlfriend, from a hidden camera in their bedroom.
Wow.
Yeah, because he also lived in the house. I don't know if I stated that earlier, but even when I lived there, like we lived together. Because his dad owned the place, so it was like super cheap rent, and Windermere's an expensive town.
Well, do you have any other like times when you were hanging out with him that you were just sort of like, God, that's weird, or something like that?
He was very socially awkward other than that. I mean, I know there was a story that I was told when he first moved here by his own mom, and that was him stabbing a dude when he was like 14 years old. So I doubt anyone even knows. This happened in California before his family even moved over here. But he stabbed, I guess, from what I understood, he was walking down the road. He was like 14 years old in California, and some guy had catcalled his girl, and he flicked the guy off. The guy was like a drunk 40-year-old man, proceeded to run across the road and beat the living tar out of him. Well, apparently Stefan at 14 years old was one of those kids who carries knives on him, and he stabbed him and missed his heart by like barely a millimeter.
Wow.
So almost killed him. That was when he was 14, and I know he had a whole bunch of therapy afterwards because apparently the beating kind of messed with his brain or something where he could like fly off the handle really easily. Like he would just get super angry really quick. And I only saw a couple flashes of that during our relationship together, but I mean that was like. But I will say, of that entire family, Dad seemed normal. Mom, on the other hand, is a whole different beast altogether. Like, she raises championship poodles. She's the meanest, rudest, loudest, most racist person I've ever, and openly racist. I mean, she doesn't hide it. Just obnoxious person I've ever met in my life. Like, my sister used to run a Publix down here, and she was hated by the entire staff. Like, how do you get hated by a bagger? Like, that's hard to do. Like, but everyone knew this lady when she walked through the door. She said she was an ex-Air Force drill sergeant, a Special Forces drill sergeant, no less. I don't know. That could be true, could be false, who knows. She was a whole different beast, and, like, he was attached to her by the cord. Like, it was really weird. Their relationship was weird. Dad seemed to hate the rest of the family. Yeah, Dad was, like, never around, really. Dad would pop in, like, on weekends here and there, and he slept in a separate bedroom, and then he would go back to doing real estate stuff. stuff and disappear for weeks on it down south. But, I mean, that was like all the time.
Probably wanted to get away from his kids.
That's my impression I always had of him was he doesn't like the wife and he doesn't like the kid.
He got dealt a bad hand. It sounds like.
Yeah, it seems like. And the other son, I want to keep calling him Brett for some reason, but I can't remember his name because he never came around. But I think he was military and lived in North Carolina, from what I understand. And I think when he had kids, he made an attempt, like sent them pictures of the family on Christmas kind of thing. And that was like the first thing he had done in like 15 years. So I don't know what happened in that family with that side, but I mean, what makes us disappear from his family for 15 years by choice?
So it sounds kind of like, I mean, this arrest warrant, he has the thing about he has all those photographs on his phone. So it sort of sounds kind of similar.
The interview where he's cracking his knuckles, he used to do that. Like, so I mean, we were like popular party kids back in high school. At least me and my circle of friends was, and he was a part of that because he was like my friend. And so we got into a lot of fights with other kids and stuff like that. And that was just something he always did when he had this weird thing about like portraying being the most alpha guy in the room. A lot. What do they say? All bark, no bite. That was kind of him, and he used to do that all the time. He used to drive us nuts because it pissed everyone off. Where he would sit there and just start cracking his knuckles non-stop. It would be so aggravating. That was one of the things we were talking about on Instagram today, because we had a pretty tight circle of friends, and we've all gone our separate ways, had kids, and done all that stuff. And we have an Instagram chat with a lot of us in it, and obviously he's never been in it, but a lot of us other ones are in it. And we were just all talking today about a whole bunch of stuff we remember of him back when we were younger, and being like, damn, how do we not notice? Like, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and what about the part about him? He factory reset his phone. Like, we were reading that earlier. Like, what a dummy.
Okay, the kid's not that dumb. I can tell you that. That's a 100%. Chance, that is a zero possibility chance with the kid. The kid is really smart when it comes to computers. Like I said, at least when it comes to certain things, he's really smart. We're gamers. Like, and we grew up gaming before, like, the internet is the way it is. So we used to go in and go into the codes and change all of our settings and do all that kind of. We're like, we were really big.
Did you play Doom though? Hey, I played the original Doom with the.
I played Doom on a floppy disk.
Remember we had to play the phone? You had to put the phone and do the 9600 baud, and it got to 1440, and it was like, whoa, yeah, this is incredible.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, but so obviously he factory reset.
For that to happen, he did it. Yeah, there was no way. That's a physical impossibility. Like, the second so we had like a thing in the chat where I saw the video where he was sitting behind the mom in the interview, and when I saw that live. Oh, at least when it was posted by the news channel. And when I saw that, I literally said, oh, he did it. I was like, I can look that kid in the face. So, like, he has tells. He's just a bad liar. Always has been, always will be. Everyone knows and everyone says he's always been like a little. He was kind of creepy. Like all his ex girlfriends have messaged me the last day or two, and that's like a common reoccurring word used to describe.
Like he was just always creepy. You know what creepy is. Creepy is creepy. But I'm just saying that I hope that her family find justice.
I bet it's creepy. So it's just like I don't
I
necessarily
hope that her family find justice.
know exactly the details.
And
So
I hope that they get the mother. Because again, the mother knew a lot of things that was going on. She act like she don't. But she know what's going on. She knew what was going on. First of all, he took her out of her house to take her to go to school. And allegedly it's 7:30 in the morning. You threw her backpack away because the girl was already dead. So they don't have no videos of her coming out their house all together or as another, like, you know what I'm saying? That's what I want to see. Where's the videos from the house when she left the house? Because then I'll probably feel some type of way. I probably feel different. But I feel as though that mother, no. This is my opinion. But I feel as though that the mother knew that girl was dead in the house, and she decided to let, quote unquote, the boyfriend or whatever take her to school. That was their plan altogether. That's why she said, I was there. We took her to school. We did this and we did that. And then next thing, she like, I did this and I did that. And then he did this and he did that. At the end of the day, either you was there or you wasn't. And I think that she tried to cover up her shit. But it's about to come out. You about to go to jail, bitch. Take her. Let's go. Let's get it. Yeah, y'all. Like and subscribe. Hit the like button and all of this stuff. If the fuck you like it. If you don't, then okay. It is what it is. Yo. Let me get a new subscriber. I haven't had a new subscriber in a while. Because I just be like, all my new subscribers get one of those. So yeah, I haven't been giving them out in a minute. I don't even know what's going on. But yeah, I love y'all. Everybody take care. Everybody be safe.